with a contract status update and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. On X, Chelsea Green would have Indi Hartwell dress like her.
You love it?
I don't know, like something feels off. Something feels off. Something feels off.
You know what? You're right, give me 1 second.
But I just...
It's perfect, it's perfect. Indi, you're complete. Meet me in 5 minutes.
For what?
Training. Duh.
But I just look exactly like you.
Around the world and shh. Around the world and shh. Yes. Around the world and shh.
What
One
about
more
the
time.
knees? What about the knees?
No, you've got it. Around the world and shh. We're walking to the ring.
Okay.
Ready? Energy, pizzazz, personality, sparkle, glitter, glam, tan. We're rich. Ready? Right, left, hi. Right, left, hi. Right, left, hi. Right, left. Hi. You're almost there. We need the lips overlined. Look at mine. Think
I
mine.
already did my lips.
Speaking about Bryan Danielson's entrance, where he would use the theme song Final Countdown by Europe and AEW, commentator for the company Excalibur said this on the AEW Unrestricted podcast. The most memorable moment in Forbidden Door, it was not actually anything to do with a match itself. It was when the first time that Bryan Danielson came out to Final Countdown in AEW. I think that was at Forbidden Door in Toronto. He's entering and he's doing the entrance, the song is playing, and I didn't realize this at the time, but as it was going on, I have an internal clock for that song because he used it on the indies for so many years, and I'd called so many of his matches in PWG where he used that song that when that chorus kicks in, I know that that's when the fans are going to shout, and so I'm doing this whole preamble, talking about Danielson, talking about what this match means, blah, 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 and while I'm doing that, everybody is screaming in my ear just saying, shut up, you gotta wait for the chorus, you gotta wait for the chorus. And then Tony Khan gets on. He's like, the chorus, the chorus, the chorus. And I just somehow was able to ignore him, finish my thought. I finished my thought, and then you hear the crowd hit the final countdown. And then Tony gets in my ear and goes, that was great. After he said, oh, that was great. I just keyed back to him. I said, thank you for trusting me. That's all I said. I legitimately meant that because it's a high level of trust to put in one person, put in me, that, I am for better or for worse the soundtrack of the broadcast, and I could have very easily trampled what could have been a huge moment, and I obviously would have been super disappointed in myself, but I also let my boss down, and so for him to put me in that chair, to put me in that position, it requires a lot of trust, and that's not something I take for granted. Going over the possibility of turning babyface in WWE, Tiffany Stratton told the New York Post Sports, I think naturally my character will just kind of turn babyface because the crowd kind of has been slowly kind of turning me babyface, but I don't think I'm going to change anything just because, why would you change something that's working? Yeah, I don't think there is going to be too much to change. I think I'm just going to be the same Tiffany Stratton, just maybe a little bit nicer to my coworkers. Touching on the spiral tap she hit during NXT's Halloween Havoc, Stephanie Vaquer said this during an Instagram live session. That's a move I've been trying to nail down for years. In fact, I was hurting from the hip after I landed badly in an attempt of the move, so nailing down the move was always tough because I did not have the resources to practice it properly. Once I got to the performance center and had the equipment to practice, I decided to practice the move again, and I was able to finally nail the move down. Then I thought, what better time to use it than to pin the champion on my first show and show off everything I have. So I'm proud of how that turned out. Taking to social media, Linda McMahon would defend Donald Trump against claims of sexism.
I wonder just how Mark Cuban would define a strong, intelligent woman, especially given that the left can't even define what a woman is. Could it possibly be a woman who built a male-dominated business from scratch that became a global phenomenon and trades on the New York Stock Exchange? I think Shark Tank might have approved of that investment. Might it be a woman who served in President Trump's cabinet as the head of the Small Business Administration, and during that time and under Trump's economy, unemployment rates for women were the lowest in 75 years? This desperate attack on Trump from the left is as ridiculous and outright ignorant as it is false. And just a hunch, but I bet on Election Day, strong, smart women will remember.
With Chris Bey suffering a neck injury and needing surgery following TNA's Bound for Glory event, Matt Hardy said this about it on his Extreme Life podcast. Also, there's been people that have been donating and giving him money just for his life in the weeks and months ahead. However long it takes him to recuperate from this so he doesn't have to worry about where his income comes from. Yes, TNA is taking care of the expenses, but it's just to make sure that he's safe and focuses on himself. The wrestling community has been so selfless about it, it's been amazing. TNA also released a statement regarding this, writing, Chris Bey began his rehabilitation from neck surgery on Sunday, October 27th, and he will remain in Detroit with multiple daily rehab sessions under the direction of specialists. He continues to show daily improvements that bring a smile to the face of those around him and Bey himself. He has family members by his side daily, along with close friends, TNA Wrestling Management, and members of the TNA roster. Ace Austin has been by Bey since the Saturday night in-ring accident. The two were put together as a team after Austin returned from Japan in 2022, and we made a choice to come together and give it everything we had. Austin said, our pairing worked so well from the beginning, largely because we share a similar work ethic and a deep love for wrestling. We could both see the raw potential we had in front of us if we just put our heads together and really became a team. We were friends before, but we really became partners fast and even quicker became brothers. Bey's first match in TNA was an explosion match against Austin shortly after Austin was signed by TNA. He was gracious, selfless, willing, and incredibly talented, Austin said. When TNA signed Chris, he was right in the mix with me for the X Division Championship. As rivals, we grew immense respect for each other and had classic matches. As tag team partners, we've been able to lift each other up and support each other in so many ways, both as wrestlers and as humans in this world. Austin and Bey form the magical, electrifying team known as ABC, and they already have accomplished incredible things that both are insanely proud of. The quick list of ABC accomplishments include Ultimate X match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship against the Motor City Machine Guns at the 2023 Rebellion pay-per-view, 3-team Full Metal Mayhem match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship at Bound for Glory 2024, 3 reigns as the TNA World Tag Champions, Tag Team of the Year in 2023, ranked number 6 in Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 10 Tag Teams of 2023, and second place in the New Japan Pro Wrestling Super Junior Tag League. We've seen so much of this beautiful world together, Austin said. Chris's first time out of the country was to Japan by my side, and now we've been to 5 countries together. I was in the ring with Chris when the incident occurred last Sunday, and I've been by his side ever since. It was just as normal as anything we've done in the ring thousands of times. Everything was all right until it wasn't. Each moment is precious, and I'm cherishing every moment I've had in the ring and around the world with Chris, and every moment I have by his side right now. There will be a lot of hard work ahead, but we don't know any other kind of work. Chris won't be alone for any of this. He's going to be surrounded by love and support from every single one of us. The road to recovery is going to be easy as ABC. Recalling his time in a faction with former WWE star Bobby Lashley, Montez Ford of the Street Profits told the Daily Mail, "At first, we started being villains," Ford says, reflecting on his time with Lashley, and the crowd just wasn't having it. "We kept trying to force them and they said, no, you are the same Profits. That's what I love about this business. The fans, they run everything. They'll tell you exactly what they want, and what they did not want was bad Profits. I'm glad with what we had for the short period of time. B-Fab and the Almighty when he was here. But what I took from that lesson is anything can happen, anything can transition, anybody can leave, anybody can just depart at any time, and you kind of just have to pick up whatever's left and just run with it. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. When all of those things were happening, we were very, very excited because he, Lashley, was somebody we looked up to, somebody I watched as a kid. And now I'm being paired with him, and he's being my mentor, and he's ushering us in this new chapter of the Street Profits. All of these things are running. We have a WrestleMania win, and then boom, it just stops. And it's been this constant stop and go and stop and go and stop and go with the Profits, where we'll get momentum, and then the momentum will stop, then the momentum will start again, and the momentum will stop. And for us, that's frustrating, because it's hard to get behind a team whose momentum starts and then it shifts again. As former WWE announcer Samantha Irvin claimed on social media that she gave WWE 2 months notice that she was leaving the company, Mike Johnson of PW Insider added that, "I've heard from some in WWE who felt the idea she quit so far in advance didn't hold up no matter what she wrote online, as the company would have, as one person said, cut bait and moved on ASAP. They've also felt that her Twitter comments since have undercut her credibility, but I think part of that is sour grapes over her publicly knocking that she didn't get a bigger role in the company. The general belief when she made the announcement among most in WWE was that she quit the same time she made the announcement, especially since she didn't say any goodbyes the week before. We know there were sources who were told she quit that day. The belief now is that she informed the company the week before and kept it to herself. One source pointed out how the company treated Kayla Braxton's exit and said that had Irvin handled things differently, she'd likely have gotten a big send-off as well. She was liked when she was there." Ringside News noted that, according to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, many people in WWE respected Irvin's decision to leave, but they were unhappy about her recent social media posts and comments. Since she was no longer with the company, they couldn't force her to remove them. Providing an update on his health after suffering a knee injury during a TNA taping, El Hijo Del Vikingo wrote this on X. "On Sunday, I had a hard blow to my right knee. Thank God it didn't affect any ligaments or muscles. I have to rest it for 5 days to allow it to deflate, then start rehab until I'm 100% recovered. I will be out for 15 to 20 days. Thanks to TNA and AAA for being vigilant. Thanks to everyone who took the time to send me a message. Thank you." Mentioning Ring of Honor potentially getting a television deal, F4W Online wrote that Tony Khan may get another wrestling show on the air sooner than later, but not necessarily for AEW. In this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that negotiations are close for a Ring of Honor deal instead. True TV has always been the station rumored because they are transitioning into being a sports channel in prime time, and thus would need new content, he wrote. No other details like a potential time frame were reported. The current weekly Thursday Ring of Honor TV product lives on Khan's Honor Club subscription service, which also includes their quarterly premium live events. Khan, pictured above, purchased the company from Sinclair Broadcasting in March of 2022, and while he has never officially revealed the purchase price, he told Meltzer on an episode of Wrestling Observer Radio that the cost was less than what Jim Crockett Promotions paid for the UWF, which was $4.2 million. Khan has publicly told media over the last few years that he has already made the money back on Ring of Honor and then some. When it comes to the AEW contract status of Dustin Rhodes, Ringside News wrote that Dustin Rhodes is still in AEW, sort of, despite his contract reportedly expiring around the end of September or start of October. The Natural has not officially parted ways with All Elite Wrestling or Ring of Honor. According to Fightful Select, Rhodes and AEW are still in negotiations, but as of now, nothing was done yet. Even though Rhodes hasn't wrestled since his contract expired, he's still technically a champion. Rhodes currently holds both the ROH Tag Team and Six-Man Tag Team Championships, which makes this contract situation even more interesting. Fans are wondering what this means for the titles and for Rhodes' future in AEW and ROH. Giving his thoughts on Stephanie McMahon having a possible role in WWE, former writer for the company Vince Russo said this on his podcast. "I'm hearing through the grapevine somebody is very active behind the scenes at the WWE and it's being kept very, very hush-hush. I'm hearing Stephanie is back in the fold big time. That is what I'm hearing. She is back in the fold big time and they're trying to keep it quiet." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.